What's up, everybody? Night Edge here again. Got another little quick review for you, courtesy of Stephen Weigel, and big shout out to him and his son Dominick for sending this along. Really appreciate it. Also known as the Lanyard Man, that's his nickname. Makes some pretty cool lanyards. I don't really care for lanyards, but this one is pretty neat. And the one that he put on that the Dachshund that I got it right over here, they sent along, that lanyard was pretty neat. So he actually has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it down below. He just kind of made a couple videos just for the fun of it with the lanyard thing, but his little lanyards are pretty neat looking though, so y'all go check him out. So this one is the Benchmade Benchmade Full Immunity. Pretty cool little knife. Interesting little design for sure. I'm going to talk all about it. I'm going to go ahead and get into the specs and everything. So we find the tape measure. See where I put it. Here we go. So it's a little guy. Look at it, going from the tip of the blade all the way to the end of the handle, sitting at right under 6 inches. Yeah, tip of the blade, very end of the handle. If you ignore the lanyard, kind of throwing that off maybe. But yeah, looking at right at 5 7/8 total overall length. Blade length, total length of blade, looking right at 2 and just a hair over 2.5 on that, and the cutting edge is sitting right at 2. I'd say 2 3/8, right at 2 3/8 on the cutting edge. So definitely a knife that'll be more legal in a lot of places than a lot of other knives. And I think that was one of the ideas of it. As a matter of fact, I got the full little story here pulled up on DLT. Apparently it was invented during the pandemic, conceived, designed, developed entirely during the pandemic to be able to go into most federal buildings, it says. Take that with a grain of salt. You know, I would definitely check your knife laws and everything, but it seems to be more acceptable in places that have crazy knife laws. You know, example, well, I'm going to do a whole video on crazy knife laws, I think, but yeah, anyway, that's when and why it was invented. So it'd probably help if I turn these damn things on. Here we go. Zero them out. I'll zero out. Zero. All right. So blade style. It's a flat grind on it. Not a full flat, but it's a pretty flat grind going on there. Thickest part of the spine, right at 90 thousandths. So pretty thin, relatively thin stock. And behind the edge, whenever you go up behind the edge of this thing, you're looking. I can get my calipers in the right spot. Behind the edge is a little trickier than. All right, so 21.5 thousandths, not especially thin, but definitely not thick. I'd say more towards the thin side than the thick side right there. And do one more check right there, 25 thousandths there. So pretty slicey little guy, I'd have to say. I mean, I haven't hard used it, I haven't pounded it into center blocks, anything like that, but I have used it a pretty good little bit and carried it. So under 1/2 inch on the handle thickness, 0.4845 right there. At that point, you got 485 thousandths on the handle thickness. You know, pretty thick handle, but not overly thick. You know, it's just thick enough to where you know you got a good grip on it. And now those aluminum scales help that out a lot too. So there's your length, measurement, width, and everything. I'm gonna get the scale out if I can find it. Here we go. The scale. All right, 2.6. Let's see if I can get it without the lanyard. And 2.6, not the same with or without it, looks like. And 2.6, so that's right at the ounce and inch ratio. That's pretty good. You know, it's a non-factor pretty much in any pocket. 2.6 ounces. Even, you know, whether you're wearing jeans or gym shorts or whatever, you know, it's pretty lightweight knife. but also, you know, a shorter blade. And some people aren't into that. Some people are, and it's better for some uses than others. But let's see, that's how it's carrying. Tuck the lanyard away. That's how it's carrying. That's what you're looking at in the pocket. Relatively deep carry clip. You know, I mean, you still got that little bit sticking out, but that kind of helps. You know, to me, kind of helps grab it. You can also grab it like that, right? With from the top of the clip, pulls out. Pretty good clip. I like the clip. No issues there with that. Do a hardware check on this thing. Let's see here what we got. I think the pivot's a T10. I'll double check my measurement there. Yeah, T10 on the pivot. And let's see where we got the T6. There's a T6. Yeah, T6 body screws. And T6, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, T6 on the clip. That's good. Good amount of hardware there for a smaller knife too. And thumb stud's removable. Has a T6, but it is removable, so that's a good thing. I know a lot of some thumb studs don't have Torx bits. You know, I mean, I don't have an issue if they have flathead, you know, something like that. You can take them out with, but when they have no, you know, nothing to remove them with, when they kind of become a pain in the butt, like that one. So could do without all the hardware. You know, I mean, for such a small knife, there's a lot of hardware in it. Captive pivot, that's good. Good that it has the Torx bit on the thumb stud. You can remove that for sharpening, making it easier. And you know, that's pretty much it as far as the good on the hardware. The bad would be, quite a bit of hardware for such a smaller knife. I don't know if anyone's ever taken apart an axis lock, but they are kind of hard to, you know, they're not as easy as a liner lock. You know, it's far from, you know, impossible to do. You can do it. It takes some, you know, you got to do it a couple times to get used to how it works. There's a lot of moving parts and stuff in there, you know. Spring, you know, it's operating on the crossbar lock, the axis lock in this case, the OG crossbar lock. So, you know, a lot of little moving parts in there and stuff whenever you disassemble it. Just got to be careful and kind of maybe watch a YouTube. You can watch my Hogue Deca disassembly before you do it. That's a similar lock, but different knife. You know, that disassembly and, you know, taking it apart, putting it back together pretty much went terrible. So it's a pretty entertaining thing to watch. It's like 25 minutes long or something. But anyway, yeah, so the T6 hardware, it could be T8. That would be awesome. Less of it would be awesome if they could somehow do that. But the fact that, you know, you have a T10 on the pivot and you have removable thumb stud, that's also, you know, that's a good thing. They're not flat, but I mean, you got plenty of room right there on that pocket clip where it won't tear your jeans up too terribly bad. So that's good. Obviously has a lanyard hole, right? The action on this little guy is super smooth, really good action. We'll go ahead and do size comparisons here. I haven't done that yet. That's a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, Spyderco Para 3 lightweight. All right, so even whenever, you know, the Paramilitary 2 is obviously way bigger, but it's even smaller than the Para 3, you know, so that is definitely a smaller knife, in my opinion. You know, I mean, everybody's different, everybody's hand size is different, but I'd say full immunity is rather on the smaller size for a knife. There's another crossbar lock, Hogue Deca, and the Ritter Hogue pivot to pivot line up there. So you can tell both of those are definitely larger than the full immunity Ontario Rat Model 1. Way bigger Ontario Rat Model 2. Bigger. So let's see. Put those up. Let me see. I didn't take this one out. I didn't think about it earlier. Should have, but let me grab my. There it is. This is the Civivi Baby Banner. All right. That is a knife that's known for being small. So right around the size of the Baby Banner, a little bit bigger, you know, a little bit longer than the Baby Banner, right? But not too far off. Cutting edge, it's got, I don't know, maybe about a quarter maybe 3/8 of an inch more cutting edge than the baby banner. So I think that the baby banner is a pretty good little size comparison knife for this one. Action on this thing's really good. It's running on phosphor bronze washers. You know, no issues there. It's not fall shut, you know, but you can shake it shut like that. You know, I mean, part of that's not, you know, it's nothing to do with the quality of the action, but it's a small blade. I mean, it's a little bitty blade, so there's not a lot of weight, you know, pulling it down. Now, when you get close, that it will about right there, it'll grab it. You know, it'll sit here all day long, but once you get to this point, it shuts. All right, lock in solid, no blade play. Centering, I think this thing's been taken apart, put back together before. It's not factory. Steven has used this, and other people have used it too, but centering is still pretty good on it. You know, pretty dead on. Pretty neat little knife, really. I have a major issue with it that I'll talk about here in a second, but as far as fit and finish goes, this thing is awesome. You know, I mean, this is a super high quality knife. This is aluminum, so this is like a diamond textured aluminum on the scales. It's not aggressive. It's not overly aggressive, you know, pointy where it kind of, you know, frays or, you know, pants or rips fingers up or anything like that. It feels really nice. It's really smooth. Contouring around here, you know, they did great on that. Great job on that, really. Pretty cool looking little pattern too. Blade shape looks really cool, kind of like a clipped off Warncliffe, you know. Really cool little blade, really handy little knife, you know. I mean, kind of like a little fifth pocket carry, really, if you could call it that. That little bitty, you know, shorter fifth pocket in your jeans, not a bad knife for that. Like I said, I mean, it weighs what do we say, 2.6 ounces, so pretty lightweight. Good action on it. Action's really good. Steel, I absolutely love the steel on this one. This is M4. This is a coating that they got on here, but this is M4 steel on here. All right, you got Benchmade.com patented M4 steel. There's a butterfly at the Benchmade model number on there, 290. Right. I think this is a bronzed aluminum, they call it. Let me double check that. I got it pulled up right now. Yeah, full immunity. That's flat dark earth, they call it. All right. And we already said M4 on the blade steel. Let's see. Thought I had it. Burnt bronze aluminum, and the coating, that's what I was trying to make sure of. The coating on this thing is black Cerakote, cobalt black Cerakote, CBC. Not as strong as a DLC coating, but I think Cerakote ranks higher than PVD, I believe, but I'm not sure on that. Definitely not sure on that. That might be reverse. I'll have to do a little looking into that. Great blade. Already went over that. Great shape. Really good grind on it. I personally, I really like this knife. Good jimping on top. It's comfortable. 3-finger grip. I wear a medium size glove. You know, or not a medium, a large size glove. I've got, I guess you'd say, average hands. You know, not super big by any means. There's my index right here. That's pinky finger on there a little bit, not fully, about 3.5 finger grip, you know. But in like that, it feels pretty solid, pretty locked in. Jimping feels good up there, no issues there. Feels like you could cut, break down boxes, cut cut rope with it all day long. You know, whenever you have it in your hand like this, you know, put it back, hold it a little bit, thumb open it like that. You know, no issues there. That opens pretty smooth. You can also, since the axis crossbar lock, pull that back, open it like that. You know, and middle finger flip on this. You got to kind of, you can do it, but you got to kind of work on it. You know, it takes a little effort to middle finger to get positioned right. You know, but the thumb flip's pretty much where this is at. So we went over the materials, aluminum M4, went over the fit and finish, went over the specs, went over everything except for the price. Now the price on this is kind of where, mainly, or where my issue is. Now this is priced out at $292.50. That's what this costs. Now this is a made in USA knife. Great quality put into it. Great fit and finish. Good materials. M4 is a good steel. Aluminum that is contoured like this. It feels really nice and everything like this. Those the machines that they use to make contouring like that, and that pattern and all that, they're not cheap at all. But all that being said, you can get, let's see, all right, what about this one? This is the Hogue Deca. Now granted, that aluminum is a lot nicer, a good bit nicer and a better material in my opinion than this FRN that's on here, or whatever that is, kind of like a hard plastic. But the blade on here is MagnaCut, which I don't know the price differences between MagnaCut and M4, but they're both super premium steels. So this is all USA made. This is all USA made. This one, when they go on sale, every now and then you can get these, find them as low as $100, $98. I think that's what I paid for this one actually, but normally these run around $130 or so. All USA made knife, good materials. This is $292 and it's smaller. There's a lot of smaller knives that are super nice that are expensive. I'm not saying that just because it's a smaller knife means that it should be less money. I mean, it is less materials. Now, if they had a larger version of this, I would say that if they had a larger version of this, it should still sell for, I don't know, in my opinion, and this is of course just my opinion, around like $210, $225 if they had a larger version of this. Now the smaller version, I would say this is probably, I would think they could still turn a profit on this even if they sold it for $200. I'd say $200 would be a fair price point for this. It could go lower. Definitely, I wouldn't think higher. I'd say maybe 170 would be an awesome price on this. For 150, I might even buy one myself. It's a good little knife, but at $292, it's crazy, Benchmade's price, and I really don't think it's worth that. I personally wouldn't buy one. Now, I didn't buy this. It was sent in by my friend Steven Weigel, like I said earlier in the video, and not having bought this, just handling it, this is an awesome little knife. It really is. So, Benchmade continues to put that butterfly tax, as they call it, markup on a lot of their stuff, on all of their stuff pretty much. I can think of one Benchmade, and that is the Griptilian. Benchmade Griptilian is still, in my opinion, moderately priced, right? And it's priced out around 130 or so, which is a pretty good deal for that one because I really like the Griptilian. But I mean, this one is, I get that it's M4, and I get that the contour and fit and finish, all that's really nice. It's aluminum. But yeah, I definitely don't see $292.50 on this. That's crazy. I mean, maybe if it was priced at around like $225, I would say would be high. But, the highest end of reasonable, 220, 225, something like that. 200, 190, I would say 180 to 200 would be around, not too bad for this. But, 150 being exceptional, 225 being super high, but, still not crazy high. But 292.50 for this one is unreal. Benchmade continues to, just to overprice things, overcharge people. But I mean, people continue to pay it because they like it, and I guess they think it's worth it, and that's all a matter of opinion, really. That's all it comes down to. So, other than the price, the only other issues I have with this knife are, if I was to take it apart, the amount of hardware and the fact that it's T6 kind of sucks. That's not necessarily a great thing. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I like a larger knife, but I can appreciate this one. You know, this is mounted left-handed, as you probably noticed at the very beginning of the video. Steven's left-handed. He's got all his stuff mounted left-handed, and I carried it like that just to kind of get an idea of you know, how carrying it lefty would be. You know, I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, so it's obviously I was fumbling around and it was a little different, you know, but it was a good little experience. So anyway, went on for about 20 minutes now about this one, but good little knife, you know, but I'm not going to recommend it just because of the fact that it is so expensive. So anyway, other than that, appreciate everyone for watching my videos. Thank you for watching the content. Subscribe if you like it and want more of it. Hit that like button, really helps out a lot. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.